So the next stage that we are going to look at is to look at what we call the supplier's ledger. These are ledgers that we open for each supplier of input on the farm. So we will give an example of a supplier, for instance, Holland Akoko. And then we open a new supplier's ledger for Holland Akoko. Okay. So, like we described earlier, the basic information that we require for each record. First of all, your date of transaction is very important. So transaction detail. Okay. Is the transaction bringing money into the business or taking the money out? So the first column in, and then the next column out. And then for Holland Akoko, you need to always know whether you have balance that you need to pay Holland Akoko at any point in time. It is also very important. So your balance should also come. Okay. So as at the point that we were starting transaction with Holland Akoko, we didn't owe Holland Akoko anything. So our opening balance, okay, is 0. We are starting with no balance with old Holland Akoko. Okay, so on the 11th of November, okay, let's make it 10th of November 2018, Holland Akoko supplied us 1,000 DOCs at the cost of, let's say, 100,000. Okay, so we put it under in because if somebody supplies you DOCs, the person is bringing you. So Holland Akoko supplies us. This is in cities. That is the assumption that we are dealing in Ghana cities. So Holland Akoko supplies us 1,000 DOCs. The total cost of the transaction of the 1,000 DOCs is 100,000. Balance owed Holland Akoko at this point is 100,000. I believe that is quite clear. The next day, this is on credit. That is why there's a balance there. That is the assumption. If the person pays, if you pay on cash, you can decide on the same day. You can decide that once you enter this, you go to the next column, which is this. If it's cash that you're paying, immediately that same day there's another transaction. Payment description. Payment for 1,000 DOCs. Okay? And you made a cash payment on the same day of 90,000, which is money that is going out of your business. This is money going out of your business. Balance owed Holland Akoko becomes 10,000. And the transaction continues. So with this, you are able to track all the payments you are making to Holland Akoko at any point in time at a glance of the ledger that you prepared for Holland Akoko. And so it helps us to better manage our expenses. If your figures keep on going up, then you need to make sure that you bring it down as much as possible. Otherwise, your credit with Holland Akoko becomes disrupted. So the next example, for instance, we are able to do, he sells feed. So the next day, we go in for feed. 11th, he supplies us feed. 1,100 bags. Good. These is money that is coming in, but in the form of goods. So that is, he gave it to us at 120,000 Ghana cedis. Our balance here is already 10,000. So if we do not pay cash, it means that immediately our balance bloats to how much? 130,000. The assumption is that all sales, all purchases immediately is not in cash. If you pay cash, it means that you need to immediately record that you paid cash out at any point in time. So this was received on credit, payment has not been done. If you add the existing balance that we owe Holland Akoko, it means that we now owe him 130,000. If for any reason, if today we find money and pay, let's say 100,000, then our balance goes to, okay, payment for, okay, let's do a cash payment. Yes. Cash payment made. That is money that is going out of the business. So note, we put it under out of 100,000. Our balance then becomes 130,000 less 100,000, which is now 30,000. So at any point in time, we are able to track how we are dealing, or what the balance is with our supplier. And this has to be done for each supplier that we have on the farm. So it is also very critical to know that when it comes to record, every little transaction, no matter how small it is, has to be captured. And if there are 5 transactions in a day, you need to always make sure that you go into the records of your customer that you're dealing with or your supplier and enter in those books. This continues until we run out of space and you create more space for it. But so long as you are dealing with the client, consistently make sure that you keep on entering as long as possible. It is very important.